the utmost pride and sincerity that I present this recording as a living testament and recollection of history in the making during our generation.
Allow me to reintroduce myself. My name is...
We're here with
Alex Maier.
And he's someone SociaLifeChicago thinks you ought to know. So Alex, hi.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm well.
Excellent. And if you could please just introduce yourself to our readers.
Sure. My name is Alex Maier. I'm a creative director at Haberdash in Chicago, and I have a blog called superdanger.us.
Excellent, excellent. And so what do you do here at Haberdash? If you can just give us a little summary.
At Haberdash, I am entrusted with the brand's visual direction and fashion direction as well. So all the editorials, I do that and kind of help portray the brand online, and then styling for events, and then helping with buying and direction of the buys and stuff like that.
Okay. And you recently just got back from New York Fashion Week?
Yes, yeah, I was there last weekend.
Okay.
Yeah, 3 days ago. So I covered Fashion Week for Tumblr 1 year ago.
Right.
Luckily, I was able to keep those contacts, so I get to go back to Milk Studios and shoot out of their office and shoot those shows and the presentations. Oh. And somehow people keep sending me invites to shows in Lincoln Center as well, so I get to go there and shoot. And all my friends. I think I accidentally got on a PR list, and they're like, "Fine, just keep sending this guy." And then, but then I got to just hang out with a lot of my friends out there. I mean, it's a really amazing time, and everyone's really stressed out. I mean, this is a typical conversation during Fashion Week. Like, "Hey, how you doing? Good to see you. How, everything's good? Good? Okay, bye." And you just do that for 13 hours
like,
straight.
Yay.
Every day, you're like, "No, okay, bye, okay, bye." You say "okay, bye" all day long. So it's pretty fun.
Yeah. What, I guess you used to live in New York, you were a former musician. What brought you back to Chicago to Haberdash?
So when I was in New York, I was working in the fashion industry. I was an assistant stylist at a commercial photography company, Sandbox. And
just Sandbox, no big deal.
And it was a very amazing experience. I learned so much, but I really missed doing music. And so when I came back to Chicago, when I decided to go back to Chicago, I was like, okay, I'm gonna really just focus on music and really anything creatively. Fashion industry was cool, but I didn't want to. I didn't know if that was for me just yet. And then I came back and I started doing like literally any job that came my way. So the second week after I came back, I went to South by Southwest and I played there, and then which was a lot of fun. And then South by is always, I don't know if you've ever been, but it's just like. It's kind of like Mardi Gras for music, is how I view it. But now it's very corporate now. It used to be like much more
cool,
like chill.
Yeah.
Now it's like the PR companies and everything's marketing this and sponsorship and that. But it's still a fun time.
But it's not as loose as it used to be.
Yeah, it's not as chill as it used to be. But I mean, there's still like free alcohol and then like really pretty girls, so it's always fun to go.
So no hot guys for me.
I mean, there's lots of hot guys, and they all play guitar.
Okay.
So so yeah. But then the next week or next month I went to Virginia and I styled a music video for my friend's band. Then the following month I went to St. Louis and I produced an album, and for my friend has this band, it's a country band. I produced that album, and then all these things kept coming my way. I just literally just wanted to take every job that came just because I wanted to learn more and grow more. And then eventually Haberdash, actually I was modeling for their e-commerce, and then
modeling?
Yeah, so they were like, well, can you just come and model for it? And I was like, sure. And then after they found out my skill set, I was like, my background in e-commerce editorial direction, stuff like that. And they're like, oh, well, like, we'd like you to be our creative director. I was like, great, I'll take it. So it's fun, kind of weird how it came back into fashion anyway. Even as far as I try to run away from it, it always brings me back in.
So you saw a lot of good stuff at Fashion Week?
Yeah, Fashion Week, and the week prior I was also in New York for Market Week, and so that's when we kind of like see where the
Week. That's more for like buyers and more for like the fashion insiders.
Absolutely, so for mostly for retailers and buyers, and so you kind of go and check out. It was Fall Winter 13, and that's when you kind of like see. You either have your buys in mind, and you strengthen the relationship with your brand, or you go there and you make sure if there's any brands that you might have overlooked. So there's capsule DNA Man Market for a project, MR, and then all the showrooms that you go to.
Industry lingo.
So, those are all like the kind of cool. And then there's also like these trade shows has now had like this very social aspect to them.
Okay.
So you go and like you hang out, and you drink, and talk about which indigo whatever is the most indigo, and, stuff like that. Like, this is so blue. You're like, oh, this is blue. So you're like, it's kind of like one of those weird things. Like, no, I know the most blue thing that there is.
This is Japanese.
So,
it's the bluest of the blue.
Yeah, this is before blue.
So this is the part where we talk about fun facts.
Great, let's do fun facts.
So you can give us 3, you can give us 5.
Okay, I'll give you as many as I can.
Yeah, so just fun facts about Alex Maier.
So let's see. Fun fact, my mother was born in Manila, Philippines. She moved here when she was 10.
So you're half Filipino?
Half Filipino, and then my father's Irish and German. So
really?
I know ancestry is kind of a big deal for people. Now,
That's
so
neat.
I think it's kind of neat.
I love Filipino food.
I like it too. It's pretty good.
Yeah.
Let's see, what else? The scene in Back to the Future Part 1 where Marty McFly plays guitar, he plays Johnny B. Good.
Okay.
At the Enchantment Under the Sea dance is what inspired me to play guitar.
Oh, wow.
I remember seeing that and be like, holy crap, he's like shredding. He's killing it. I used to be like addicted to video games back in the day.
Really?
Not addicted, but I loved them.
Huh.
Like more than one should.
Oh. Any favorites at the time?
Like Final Fantasy VII obviously was a big one for me. The Final Fantasy VIII. Final Fantasy X was really good.
Really?
No, but I was
You were into it.
I'm a big dork, I guess. That's what other people say.
Really?
Not my
I
words.
don't know.
Not my words. But growing up, I was, a dork, right? And like, and an actual dork, not the way they like fetishize being dorky now, which is like such. I wish that was the case when I was growing up, because you have all these like
cool
models and like cool people. Oh, I'm just a dork at heart. Like, you're not a dork. I was a dork. And I got shoved into lockers. It's like you never got shoved into a locker. Like you don't get right. It's like you don't get the moniker of dork. You didn't earn that. Like I was that. Like so this whole like I'm just a dork. It's like no, you're not a dork. That's okay. Don't aspire to that. It's not a good thing. Trust me. So that's what drives me nuts. I just can't stand it. So I used to have like a pop metal band, kind of, and my hair was down to here.
Oh.
And like, I would wear it in a top knot. And that's when I had my ears gauged. And
you had faces to
tattoos. Yeah.
Wow.
I'm an onion. Many layers. Many foolish layers. You feel like that was stupid. That was also stupid. Many mistakes, which has brought me to here.
We don't call them mistakes.
Not mistakes. Many learning
experiences.
teachable moments.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I used to bartend also. I bartended for a little over 7 years.
Really?
So I bartended in New York too when I first moved there. Even though I didn't want to. I moved. I'm like, I'm not gonna be bartending when I'm in New York. And I'm like, what did you like, sir? And as I was shaking a martini glass, it's like, what happened?
Was it at least at a cool bar, or like?
It was actually at
it
was an amazing bar, Aqua Grill on 6th and Spring. It's it was rated #1 seafood in New York.
Nice.
The ones that James Beard wore. I mean, it was like a fantastic restaurant. Like it was like really kind of fancy, at least for my standards. So I was always very surprised that I got to work there.
This was good.
Cool.
This was
Good.
fun.
Right on. Thank you for having me. Appreciate it.
Yeah. So.
Oops. Yeah.
Alex.
High five.
Thank you.
Oh, that's a good one too.
Oh, yeah.